Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again and we're heading back to Dragons today for Tarkir Dragonstorm with either the backup or the main commander, depending how you want to play the pre-con deck from the Sultani tribe, which is Teval, the balance scale. 1 black, green and blue for a 4/4 spirit dragon. Flying, and whenever he attacks you mill 3 cards and return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. But whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, you get a 2/2 zombie. Druid. Well, zombie druids we get now, not just zombies. Why we had to have druids, I have no idea. But there's zombie druids. So, yeah. So, we like cards going in the graveyard. We like cards going out of the graveyard to get the zombies. Right. Now, it isn't once a turn, it's just whenever 1 or more. So, each trigger of cards leaving the graveyard... sorry, excuse me. Each time a card leaves the graveyard, this will trigger. So, you get zombie. Right, okay. We help a little bit by milling. So what we're looking at is a mill strategy. That's fine. We can cope with a mill strategy and we can do all sorts of things with that. But there's one type of card that I haven't seen played for a while in Commander, and that's, yeah, flashback. So here we go. This is what we're up to today. So, 21 creatures in the deck, starting with Deep Root Wayfinder, just so we can do the whole combat damage to play. We get Surveil, and then return a land from our graveyard to the battlefield tap. So that kind of works quite nicely with Teval. Lotus Cobra, because we have got a few landfall. We are playing a lot of lands because we want to be triggering this. So there's a little bit of landfall synergy in here. The first one is Lotus Cobra. Then we have Root Call Creeper, like this one. Add 1 mana of any colour, that's fine. Add 2 mana of any 1 colour to cast spells from your graveyard. And then you can pay green and blue to exile it and basically return a target card with flashback you own from exile to your hand. So play the card, flash it back, it goes to exile. Then if you really want that card back, Root Call Creeper just brings it back from exile for us. So I like this, it's cool fun. Skull Prophet gives us a bit more ramp and a bit more mill. Snapcaster, we all know what Snapcaster does. Gives an instant auto sorcery without flashback. Or, makes the flashback cost cheaper if the card's flashback cost is higher. Azusa, Lost but Seeking, lets us play more lands each turn as long. And the Course of Crewfix lets us play the lands off the top and gain a life when we play them as landfall. The Dryad lets us play an additional land and then makes all our lands every single type. And then Loot the Exuberant lets us play additional lands and has the 6 mana built-in ability that seems to be quite good. Ruminant Excavator lets us play our lands from our graveyard. Wayward Sawtooth, extra land drops, and then basically once we get the blessing becomes a reasonably good blocker and attacker. Nissa, World Soul Speaker, comes back in from the Ether Drift Commander decks, if I remember so correctly. Whenever a land you control enters, you get 2 energy, and then you may pay 8 energy rather than the mana cost for permanent spells you cast. Makes perfect sense to me, it really does. Oracle of Mudai is Oracle of Mudai, and then obviously we're playing around with graveyards, and we like things that are going from our graveyard. Things going from our library to our graveyard, so it's the DCs here. Another way of us getting some zombie tokens. These are just normal 2/2 zombie tokens. They're not zombie druid tokens, which I still don't understand. Perennial Behemoth lets us play our lands from our graveyard. Tatova, Benthic Druid, you all know what this does. This has been edited now to say landfall in the latest version. This is the original version from Dominaria. Enters the battlefield under our control, we gain a life and draw a card. Azzy, Tyrant of Gearstraight, is also in for additional land and then card draw with the landfall trigger. Ancient Green Warden lets us play our lands from our graveyard and has reach and is a fairly big blocker. Mordrotha had to be here because we're in the right colours for Mordrotha, and who doesn't like playing cards from their graveyard when they give you a zombie? Rampaging Ballads for obviously the landfall triggers to give us a few more creatures and things to win with, along with Avenger and Zendikar, had to be here. Sorceries, we have 18. It's quite a high number for me, to be honest. We've got some of this expected ramp with Farseek, Nature's Law, 3 visits. But then we've got things from Life from the Loam, so we could dredge more cards from our library into our graveyard and get our lands back and do it that way. We've got Otter Ball Antics, which is quite nice in this deck. We get a 1/1 blue and red otter token with prowess. And if we get this cast from our graveyard, it actually comes in with a +1/+1 counter, and so we get a 2/2 creature. Yeah, No problem with that at all. 6 mana for 2, a 1/1 and a 2/2 with prowess. Expensive, but over a couple of turns, not the end of the world. Deep Analysis, the traditional flashback card that everybody loves. Diagraph Rebirth, just so we can bring back. I mean, we are only playing 21 creatures, and things like Avenger of Zendikar, Rampaging Balos will get killed off quite quickly. But Diagraph Rebirth gives us a way to get them back, and it has flashbacks. We can do it a couple of times as long as no one empties our graveyard. Grizzled Fate gives us bears, and then we played it from. And if we've got Threshold, so 7 or more cards in our graveyard, we get 4 2/2 bears, and then we get to flash it back for 7. Spider Spawning is just me having a little bit of fun. I like the Spider Spawning card. It always makes me think of the scene from the Harry Potter film, the one with all the spiders are. I forgot what it is now. You know the one. So Chamber of Secrets, that's what I'm looking for. Just always makes me think of that. But anyway, create a 1/2 green spider creature with reach for each creature card in your graveyard. That's fine. Then we get to flash it back. Alright, okay. Urban Evolution, draw some cards, play an extra land. Echo of Eons. There you go. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library and then draws 7 cards. Then you get to flash it back for 2 and a blue. And then maybe you get to go and grab it again with the little 2 green 2/2, which green blue 2/2 we talked about earlier to do it again for a third time. Yeah, all right then. Storm the Festival, just so we can go and get permanents from our graveyard, from our library with mana 5 cost or less into play. Time Spiral just gives way of shuffling everything back in and then tapping 6. Vengeful Regrowth coming in from the Outlaws commander set. Whenever return up to 3 target lands from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And then create that many 4/2 green plant warrior creature tokens with reach. And then you get to flash it back. Yeah, okay then. I'm not going to complain about that. That seems very strong. Roar of the Worm is Roar of the Worm. 7 mana for a 6/6 or 4 mana for a 6/6, depending which way you play it. And then a little bit of fun because I couldn't resist playing it. Army of the Damned. Give us some more zombie tokens. Thank you very much. 8 mana becomes 10 mana when we flash it back. But I'm not going to complain about that because I think it's fun. Secrets of the Key kicks off the next set, Investigate, and then if we cast it from our graveyard, we get to investigate twice. Cash Grab just does the milling stuff. This is where we get a lot of the mill to fill up the graveyard with. So we've got Cash Grab coming in, Corpse Churn. You've seen these recently. The one game changer in the deck is Psych Rift. Grapple with the Past for more, putting the top 3 cards in our graveyard and then returning a creature or land from our graveyard to our hand. Growth Spiral for a little bit of extra card draw and land drops. Joint Exploration for the same idea. Siphon Insight, so you can exile the top 2 cards of an opponent's library or exile one of them and play it. Think Twice for the card draw. Cackling Counterpart. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. Hello, Avenger of Zendikar. Right, okay, we're not going to go through that too much because everyone knows that little combo, but yeah, I like pointing out every time. Forbidden Alchemy, let's look at the top 4, 1 in our hand, the rest in the graveyard, and we flash it back at a quite high cost of 7. Wasteful Harvest comes in for more mill, Beast Attack, because we can just get a 4/4 Beast at instant speed to have a good blocker. 5 mana's hard, triple green, complicated, but, we might be able to get there. And finally, Commit to Memory, so we get to do the whole put a target spell on non-land second from top of someone's library, and then we get to do the whole everybody shuffles their hand in graveyard into the library and draws 7. You start the whole process again. Artifacts, mainly ramp, Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Elixir of Immortality for the shuffling if it goes pear-shaped, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. I have played Catalyst Stone just so we can make our flashback costs a little bit cheaper. It may seem a bit bizarre, but we have got quite a few flashbacks and they are quite expensive in some places, so it's here. Crucible of the Worlds also is here just to let's play our lands from our graveyard. And then a few enchantments, Exploration and Rites of Flourishing, so we keep on playing the additional lands, and a little bit of card draw with this one. And then because we are making all the zombies, Parallel Lives, Doubling Season, both make an appearance today, just so we can make sure we're maximising our zombies coming from our commander. And then after that, all the traditional black, green and blue lands you'd expect to see. We are playing Field of the Dead. This has got a zombie theme in it, so it made a lot more sense here today. And I know I play it on all my tricolour decks, but yeah. few things. We've got the Gloom Lake Verge. We've got all of them in. Basically, I'm not going to go through the lands. They're very boring. They're lands. You know what they do. You can probably much guess by now what I put in my decks. We have got Reliquary Tower. We have got Temple of the False God. I didn't play Urborg, and I didn't play Yavimaya for a change, just to have a break for them, because I think we've got enough here to do it elsewhere. And that's it. That is my take on Teval, the balance scale. Yeah, I quite like having a deck where I can play around with the graveyard. Probably going to be a little while before we see this one on the stream, I'll be honest. Mainly because if I want to play this on stream, I've got to buy the pre-con deck at the moment. And yeah, I've got to wait for the end of the month to appear to buy another pre-con deck. So yeah, that's the way it goes. But yeah, I will put it around to play, and I will enjoy playing it, so I think it's really good. So that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another card from Tharkia Dragonstorm, and on Wednesday that'll be the same, and then Thursday and Friday, well, Thursday will definitely be something that I've been requested. Friday may be the start of something a little bit different for a while, but we'll see if I get around to doing it or not. But for now, thanks for watching today's video. Have a great week, and yeah, hopefully I'll catch you on stream very soon. Have a good one. Bye.